What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Look at that flag, new flag flying, baby. Because, well, you know, America. So we have a new video today of the Yeti. We're gonna pop open this truck full of goodness here. Look at that, 5 years old and still nice and clean. Now, what I want to talk about in today's video is one of the most important mods you can do for your truck. Now, whether it's Elite Engineering, whether it's any other company, RX Speedworks, this is the UPR is the name of the company. I got this on CJ Pony Parts, but you can probably find it other places as well. Dual valve, huge monster catch can. Now, the purpose of dual valve, it pulls from both sides, clean side and dirty side of the engine. This is on the 5.3 Ecotec, not Vortec, guys. So the thing I like about this, it's got nice braided hoses that'll last a long time, comes with spare parts, easy, quick connect, disconnect. Look at that, push button, one-handed holding my phone, guys. Look at that, one-handed holding my phone. It clicks right on there, nice and secure. Easily replaceable. So, looks like I might actually have to replace this. And this is 3 years, about 3-4 years old almost. Got this not long after the truck. So, works very well. Look at that, couplings are steel. Or aluminum, billet aluminum, I believe. And another thing I like about this kit, it comes with the hoses, with the clamps, which I have to tighten a little bit because they're a little bit loose. So I'll tighten them down with the 8mm socket. Some people use a flat blade. I hate flat blade. I don't know who the heck invented a flat blade, but I hate them because it's so dumb. I'll take an 8mm socket and tighten these down pretty easy. But it comes with these to connect to here so you don't have vacuum leaks, because this is an aftermarket SMB cold air intake with the dry filter. So I've had this thing on for about the truck's got almost 60,000 miles. I've had it on for about 52,000 miles of that. It has performed admirably. It catches a lot. I'll do another video on what it catches, since I have to take this out and dump it here shortly, probably tomorrow or the next day. But anyway, past that, spare parts are easy to find for these. They're readily available. They're made in Florida, I believe, or at least based out of Florida. And this thing has worked very nice. And the purpose of that is this is a direct injection engine. So you have two injectors spraying into the fuel combustion chamber instead of over the intake valves. So the intake valves get clogged up, get coked up with carbon, heavy carbon. And the only other option, if you don't have one of these, is to either have it soda blasted, which is about $250 to $300, probably more than that now. This was about 4 years ago. Another option is you can take this piece off here, okay, or you can take it off at this clamp on your stock or your aftermarket, and you can spray throttle body cleaner. Carbon intake cleaner is what they have now. CRC has it. And you get somebody else to get inside the cab, rev it up to about 2,000 RPMs, and hold it there as best they can, unless you want to put in a high idle switch or something and do it that way. That's possible. And you have to spray it in there until the whole can's used up. Let it heat soak for, I think, an hour or two, and then you go drive it around for 10-15 minutes and blow all the crap out of the exhaust. Now, you can do it that way, but when I looked at those cans, they're about $15 a can, and you gotta do it so many miles. This, you don't have to do all that. You empty the catch can. It has filters and all in it. It's not getting by there. And I haven't burned any oil at all in this, which I believe that's one of the reasons this thing was burning oil, is because of the carbon buildup. clogging up everything, coking up probably your spark plugs and everything else. So this is one of the best intakes. Now, whether you want to lead engineering, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. A catch can is the only way to go on these trucks. Whether you have the 5.3, the 4.3, the 6.2, or any other direct injection engine, whether it's a Mustang, a Raptor, any of them, they all have direct injection. Now, I believe Ford did something different. They have different pulsing injectors that spray over the intake valves again, but this does not have that. Port injection, I believe, is what that was called. That's no longer on these trucks. Now, correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments, but I believe Ford put two different injection systems. A smaller one on the port side to clean off the intake valves, mostly on their EcoBoost, because they were having carbon blow off and go through the turbine and the turbocharger. And you know what happens when that happens. Just like a bird going through an airplane engine. Shreds it. Destroys the fins. They're probably thin aluminum. Some might still be steel. Some might be carbon. There's different variants. But it's going to break the fins and damage them to the point where they don't work correctly and burn up your turbocharger. Those are not cheap. So this is a cheap way to go. Now, when I bought this kit, it was I dropped about $280, $300 on it. Might be more now, might be less. Cheap insurance, guys, cheap insurance. It's just like I tell people, oh, why you change your oil every 5,000 miles? Cheap insurance. What's cheaper, oil or a motor? Valves, lifters, all that stuff. Is that cheaper than oil? No, oil's cheaper, no matter how high oil gets, because those parts cost a lot of money to make, so, and a lot of money to ship now too. My gosh. Anyway, guys, that's the video. Get yourself a catch can if you have one of these engines from 2014 and newer. Even the older variants, I believe, had it as well, but they had port injection on the 13s and below, I believe, and 14 is when they went to the direct injection. So get yourself one of these catch cans. Doesn't matter what brand. I like the UPR myself. Really loved it. Haven't had a minute's issue with it. And you can also now order these. Now, maybe you can with the other kits too. Because previously, on my other intakes, they didn't have these. These weren't available for any of the catch cans. Now they have them. And I tried making ones myself. They didn't quite work. You always had a vacuum leak. And I tried very good connectors and all. It just didn't work. Couldn't find the right parts. So, cheap insurance. And these, I think, were about 80 bucks when I bought them 3 years ago. So, check them out. UPR. I'm not paid for this video or sponsored or anything like that. This is purely my opinion. And doesn't matter if you want the UPR, the lead engineering catch can, the RX catch can, whichever. Get yourself a catch can. Protect your investment. Because these engines ain't cheap, guys. They're just as much as the diesels anymore. So protect your investment. Long-term viability, long-term longevity. You can't beat it. And that's just a fact with these direct injection engines. Very cheap insurance. So let me know what you guys think. Remember to like and subscribe to this video and this channel. Helps the channel tremendously. And I'll see you guys on the next one.